listening to the MycoGeeky Podcast, a podcast that inspires people to grow mushrooms at home to improve their mental, emotional, and physical health. Most people call him Geeky, and he is a passionate mushroom cultivator, advocate, and educator. Every week, he sits down with fellow cultivators, mushroom educators, scientists, and therapists to discuss the various ways people can approach mushroom cultivation and how mushrooms can be used to improve their lives.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the MycoGeeky Podcast, the podcast that goes deep so you guys can level up your at-home mycology game, your mushroom cultivation game, your admiring mushrooms from afar as you scroll through Instagram game, your I want to start growing magic mushrooms, but I don't have the guts to do it yet, but pretty soon if I watch enough of these podcasts, I'm going to do it game. All those games. We're all about all those games here. You want to just learn, you just want to find a mushroom and figure out what it is game. We do that game too. We're getting into that game a lot more. Anyway, it's been a minute. Welcome. Glad to have you guys back. Missed you guys. Definitely missed doing the show. But you know, you got to get out there. You got to hunt some mushrooms. You got to hang out with myceliate, get to know people. So that's what we've been doing. We went to Mexico. Me, Don King, and Natural State, we did it. We took a crew of people down there. We came, we saw, we integrated, we myceliated. We found a whole bunch of mushrooms down there and had a good time. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later tonight with a couple people. And we'll really get into it in a future episode where we're going to bring a whole bunch of people on. We're really going to roll up our sleeves, get into the nitty gritty of what we did down there. But man, on to more pressing issues. This weekend, MycoFest. William Padilla-Brown's been hosting this mushroom festival in Pennsylvania for a long time. I don't think there's too many mushroom festivals that have been operating longer than this one. And for the first time, Geeky's going. So I'm gonna be there this weekend with a couple of my kids. So you guys get to meet the Geeky and the little geeks, and hopefully we can hang out and have a good time. So in the spirit of that, I reached out to Will. I said, "Hey man, you want to come holler at the show for a minute, talk about MycoFest?" I saw there was a handful of tickets available, and he said, "Yeah, let's do it." So we got a chance to chit chat this morning. So without further ado, I'm gonna play that segment that we recorded now. All right, welcome to the show, William Padilla-Brown. What's up, man?
Not much, living life, feeling blessed, getting ready to pack up and move on out.
I like it. Well, in classic, as I would say, William Padilla-Brown style, you're doing MycoFest, you're moving, you're making documentaries, you're traveling here, there, all over the place. I know that's how you like it.
Yeah. I mean, like it's funny because like this year I was trying to tell myself, I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna run the farm. I'm gonna just focus on a couple things at once. And like, I'm still working towards that goal. I couldn't just cold turkey jump out of all of my happenings, but little by little, I mean, we're about to have another baby. So like whether I like it or not, I'm gonna be like steady and stable for a little bit.
So will that be 2 or 3?
That's number 3.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, 3's the one. That's when you're outnumbered. So that will slow you down just a little bit. Trust me. It doesn't matter
That's
what you do.
hilarious.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about MycoFest. It's coming up this weekend. I'm excited. I'm going. My friend Don King is going. My friend Ashley's leading some of your forays. It's gonna be a good time, man. So talk about who's coming. Let's talk about music. Let's talk about some of the speakers. Like, just tell everybody what's up.
Right on. Yeah. So this is the 10th annual MycoFest. We have an incredible lineup. We've got people coming from all around the U.S. as usual. Um, some of the people I'm excited for, we have Elon Hagen's coming out from the West Coast, going to be talking about truffles. We've got my buddy Martin Roseman coming up and talking about the art of infusion. There's been a lot of people that's been getting into these like mocktail experiences over the past year. So he's going to talk all about it and getting involved with it. We've got Christopher Pauly coming out talking about chemistry of genetics and fungi, and they're actually over. The Entheome Foundation is over in Eastern Pennsylvania right now doing a research station, so that's pretty cool. Um, and yeah, we're going to be up at Runnymede. This is our second year at Runnymede. This is a venue that we're using out in State College area, Center Hall area. Super big, super beautiful, incredible view of the mountains, and we're just like right in the heart of it all. Really incredible places to go foraging. And speaking of like that area, we have a local legend, Bill Russell, going to be coming out, and he's this is going to be his second year at or his third time at MycoFest, but second year in a row at MycoFest. And he's a local Pennsylvania legend, like knows all the Pennsylvania mushrooms, is tapped all the way in. We have some incredible performances. We have Rory coming up from Atlanta. I'm going to be performing. We have Zen Frankie and Ayana Zen doing immersive African dance. Yeah, it's gonna be a huge vibe, big celebration, uh, and lots to learn. Really, lots to learn, lots to interact with, and a whole gang load of people to meet and network with. I mean, I think that that's really a huge element of MycoFest is over the years, so many people have met here, started businesses together, started families together. There's a lot of opportunity to stand out from this little.
Yeah, the myceliation, get together, hang out with people. I mean, online is cool, but online for me only proves that people want to meet people, right? Like
Hmm.
I think a
Hmm.
lot of people just using online to meet people that think the way they think, like what they like. So yeah, MycoFest. And you guys got to be one of the oldest mushroom festivals in the country, right? I mean, I know Telluride's pretty old, but other than that, is there too many that are older than you? I don't think so.
Nah, like Telluride's like 45 or
Yeah.
something, and this is our 10th year. And I think the radical mycology convergence has been going on longer, but they only do like every 4 years or something.
Oh,
So there's been less of them. Um, but yeah, we're the longest, like we're the second oldest consistent running mycological festival that I know of. Oh, also Mushroom City Arts Festival. Shout out Mushroom City Arts Festival in Baltimore. This is gonna be my first year that I'm not teaching there in like 10 years, I think. Like
mm,
I've been going out teaching there just as long as MycoFest has been going on. And that's psychedelic focused, family oriented, really incredible festival also.
nice, man. Yeah. So here's what I love about you. You just follow your passions. And in this world where people follow the TikTok fad of the week and it's not their passion, people like you are rare. So you're setting an example for this younger generation of follow what you love, do the things you're passionate about, and good things will happen. I'm looking forward. This will be my first. I've never been. I almost went last year, and then logistics screwed it up for me. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. The
Well,
me
you're getting a refined edition, you know what I mean? 10
Nice.
years in the making.
Yes. I'm spoiled, yeah. Um, so let's do this. I will definitely come say hi. I know you're going to be busy during the festival. I'm looking forward to seeing and learning from all these people that love mushrooms as much as you, as much as me. And if you guys are watching and you're remotely anywhere within, a day's drive and you got nothing going on this weekend, and I think there's just a tiny handful of tickets left. I looked last night, a tiny little handful. So if you guys want something to do, come grab them last tickets and let's fill up Roni Mead and have a good time this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Runnymede is a day's drive away from 40% of the US population.
Yep,
So y'all don't got an excuse. It's about to be a blowout and you don't want to be having FOMO afterwards. So
exactly. Yeah, man, no FOMO. No, no, no. Not this day and age. Um,
no.
yeah, it's close for me. I got 3 hour drive and yeah, like you said, I think just about half this country can get there in a day or less. So no
Yo,
excuses, man. Come hang out. The music is great. I've seen Will perform. He's a pro. I know of some of the other artists. They are also solid. You get to hang out with people and talk about mushrooms all day, every day. There's nothing
good
like
food
it.
too. Good
And
food
great
too.
food. Yes,
Yep.
exactly. Cool, man. Well, I look forward to seeing you this weekend. And for those of you watching, grab them last couple tickets and let's do this. All right, guys, that was William Padilla-Brown in the house for the first time on the MycoGeeky Podcast. I keep telling him I'm going to bring him on, but I want to grow me some cordyceps first so we really can, get into it and talk about them. So hopefully we can do that here if I can just get enough free time in the day to start growing yet another species of mushrooms. We'll have them back on here. Anyway, MycoFest this weekend. You can go check out. Yeah, I guess there's still tickets. Go see for yourself. It's in the smack dab middle of Pennsylvania. So I mean, like you said, 40% of the population's within a day's drive. I think easily 30% is within like a 4.5 hour drive. And I'm just gonna say this right now. If you guys like hanging out on Facebook and talking to people about mushrooms, if you like hanging out in my Discord and talking to people about mushrooms, if you like to go forage by yourself and look for mushrooms, all that shit gets way cooler when you do it with a bunch of other people. End of story. It just does. We're going to talk about Mexico in a little bit. Every time I get together with even a handful of people who like mushrooms like I do, I learn something. I have a good time. I connect. No bullshit. It's just, what we're all just craving in this, stuck on these things all frickin' day, stuck in front of our computers all day. It's just really nice to get together and hang out with people, get to know them. So, with that said, one of my past guests, she was on. We talked a lot about her background in mushrooms. She's going to be at MycoFest. She's going to be leading some of the forays. And so I reached out to her and I said, hey, you want to come on and chit chat, talk about your history with MycoFest, what we're going to do this weekend, what you're excited about, all that good stuff. She said, let's do it. I'm talking about Appalachian Ash. So without further ado, let me pop her on here. All right. What's up? Appalachian Ash. Was that good? Okay, maybe the WWF will not hire me to be a ringside commentator anytime soon. That's okay. In this corner, weighing too much with a dad bod. No, I'm kidding. Okay. All right, so we've had you on the show, but let's do this just for some people who haven't. I'm getting to where I got a few subscribers now, and I redo some of these old episodes when I got nothing scheduled, and people go, "Oh, that was great! I never saw that one." And I'm like, "You never saw the Dave Wombat podcast? Like what?" But people haven't watched them all. Those of you out there there are, however, people who will message me and go, "I did it, Geeky." And I'll be like, what'd you do? They'll be like, I finally got through them all. I watched every single one. To you guys,
that's a lot of hours.
I commend you. Usually they do it at work. I think they like just put it on the audio and they listen at work or something like that. But yeah, so for those who are not familiar with you, why don't you just give everybody a little background? You got a deep, rich history in mushrooms. You knew William Padilla-Brown before none of us knew who he was. You kind of been a mushroom person for a while. So why don't you give everybody just a little lowdown on who you are?
I've been interested in mushrooms, or were introduced to mushrooms in around 2017. I had a friend that foraged, and she had foraged all her life, and I was more familiar with plants. I had done a lot of plant and backyard foraging, so we kind of got together, and once the first day we went out, I think we found like 7 or 8, it might have been more than that, edibles, and I was like instantly hooked. I like to cook, so that was my go-to for everything, and
free food.
I was just free. It was
free
I was
food.
addicted. And then after a couple of years, I was like, well, there's all these other mushrooms that we don't know about. And I kind of got curious about those too. So it just kind of snowballed from there. I discovered that my area is huge in diversity as far as mushrooms and species. So it intrigued me to, delve further into it.
Wait, you guys got mushrooms down there? Down in Appalachia, there's mushrooms down there? I'm kidding. Yeah, so I don't know about you, but everybody wonders when they find out this is what I do, like people in my regular life. They'll be like, but aren't they toxic? And aren't you worried? And I'm like, the like 5 to 10 really tasty, like fairly easy to find, super easy to ID mushrooms that taste the best. I mean, that's like one long weekend. You can find a good chunk of those, one weekend in the spring, one weekend in the fall. And now you know how to ID, for the most part, the really tasty mushrooms. But then what do you do? Because now you're hooked.
Right.
You like to be in the woods. You like to figure out what the mushrooms are. So then the next logical step is to just keep figuring them out. So I feel like that is just what happens to us if we take that bait that far. Then the next logical step is you just keep going, and then you hit the wall of LBMs. And once you get to the little brown mushroom phase, which is I'm like sort of there. There's still other stuff I don't know, but yeah, man, little brown mushrooms. Whew.
I feel like I'm at the stage where it's like it's time to pick a,
pick a
time
genus.
to pick a specialty. Yes. Time to pick this person does polypores, or this person does entomopathogenic fungi, or this person does ascomyces. But I don't know. I kind of like to be well-rounded, and I don't know that I found that hyperfixation genus for me yet.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Plus, I also feel like I don't know if I like one to the exclusion of many others. And I also feel like you could pick a small genus, right, that has maybe 10 to 30 species, but then you're going to be done with that, in, I don't know, a couple years maybe. And then you got to pick another one. And
I've gotten hooked on the DNA trade.
Yeah.
I'm a little obsessed with gathering stuff in the field, because I've heard so many times, I don't know what that is, or I've never seen that, or oh my gosh, so now I'm just collecting stuff, just constantly collecting stuff.
Yeah, man, I probably collected, I don't know, 140, 150 things for Kyle last year. And then there's a gal in Ohio named Penny. She collected, I think, 700 specimens. My friend Sarah collected maybe even 1,000 specimens. My friend Jessica, I don't even know, but yeah, 500 to 1,000, somewhere like that. So I just immediately was like, I'm never going to win that game. So, and it's not a game. It's just, I collect new stuff that I find. I send it to Kyle. I get to find out how good my IDing skills are. And yeah, it's cool. I'm right a lot of the times, and sometimes I'm way freaking off. But that whole process has been really good. Really helps you figure some stuff out for sure. Cool. So how many MycoFests you been to?
Well, this is actually my third MycoFest.
Third?
So okay. I haven't been going that long. I've been quite the social introvert. So that was part of the reason I liked mushrooms, and I liked being out in the woods, and I could be by myself and nobody was around. But I could only learn so much, and then I realized that there was a community online, which was great, but I felt like I could only go so far there too, because I had, social reservations to reach out or to speak up. But I had a friend that was like, oh, you kind of have wanted to go to this MycoFest for a couple of years and you've just not gone because of your own social issues. I was like, yeah. She's like, we're going. And I said, okay.
So when was that? How long ago was that?
That was 3 years ago. That was my first MycoFest. I had wanted to go for quite some time and just never I was like, that's nothing I would do by myself. And there was nobody around me or mushroom clubs around me, or, there wasn't anything around me that I could ease into it. So I certainly wasn't going to do it by myself. And she isn't really so much a mushroom person now. She's just a friend that is like we're going to do things and get shit done.
Nice. Wait, so there's no mushroom clubs by you?
Not the closest mushroom club to me is probably an hour and a half. And that would be Moss. So that would be either Maryland and Washington Mushroom Club. So the DC Mushroom Club, or I am a part of the Central PA Mushroom Club, but that's quite a few hours from me also.
Right.
And there's one in so nothing close to me.
I guess you got to start the club.
I looked into that. And I was like, no, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole job in itself. I am not interested in. I have enough going on right now.
Yeah, it's true. All right. So you've been to a few. How was your first one? How was your second one? I want to hear all about it. What makes them cool? Why do you keep coming? We want the juicy details.
I love the presenters are great. It's great learning new things, but really, in my opinion, you go for the people is what you go for. You go for to meet people, to interact and talk to like-minded people and people that are just interested in mushrooms. And there's a whole different variety. So there's people that are interested in identification, and then there's people that are interested in cultivation. There's people interested in medicinal. So it's a variety, and we all kind of just congregate and socialize and learn from each other and make connections. Really, that's what it's about. It's about making connections.
Yes, it's about finding the person that will talk to you, who knows more about mushrooms than you, so that you can ask them questions. You can figure some stuff out. Hanging out at the old ID table is never a bad play, right? You hang out at the ID table, you're looking at a mushroom, they're looking at a mushroom. It's like a little mushroom love connection, just, platonic love connection. You see a mushroom you love, another person does, and you say one thing about it, and then they teach you 17 things about that mushroom. That if you had to study it on your own, reading a book, it would have been not as fun. Not as exciting. That's what I love. I love finding the people that have been in the woods 100,000 times, that know a lot of little specific things that you can't pick up in the books, right? Like, cool, I can look up what the spore size is. I can look up what the average cap size is. But man, hearing some of the stuff these people that hang out in the woods know, it's the stuff you just cannot get from a book. That's what I love getting from those people. So that's what I'm doing this weekend, guys. So I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna be asking questions, and I'm gonna be trying to learn some stuff, and then just seeing new ways people dig mushrooms. You're like, oh, you can do that with mushrooms. Like these people who like dye shit. They dye t-shirts, they dye yarn, and then knit sweaters. And I mean, there are a lot of levels to the mushroom stuff for sure.
Have you seen Arlene Bassett's work?
No, what does she do? I mean, I got to meet her and hang out with her a little bit last year, but I don't know what is she. She does that.
Well, she wrote a book on it.
I didn't know this.
She dyes fabric with different mushrooms, and I don't know if she knits or crochets and shawls, clothing items. I'm not sure. Hats. I know hats are a thing for her.
That doesn't surprise me. Yes, that I don't know how else to describe it, but that makes absolute sense. Man, I'll tell you one thing. That first off, she gave a speech at NAMA last year that literally had me in tears. But her and her husband, I mean, they're in the community. They don't live in an ivory tower separate from everybody else, just issuing their decrees about boletes all day. They're there. They do workshops. I believe you're going. Aren't you doing something with them coming up? So, okay, yes, cool. We'll talk about that.
I'm excited.
But like, they're really integrated. I asked both Alan and her multiple questions at different times, whether it was forays or just wandering around. always willing to talk. Just cool people. And then I see particularly Arlene on IDing groups. If people can't figure out a bolete, she'll chime in, and that's cool, man.
Oh yeah,
that's really cool.
she's really active. That's nice.
I love that stuff. All right, so yeah, what are you doing with the Bassettes? And for those of you who don't know, Alan and Arlene Bassett, they're extremely renowned mycologists, particularly bolete experts. They've written kind of the book on boletes, and
They've written
definitely
quite a few books.
Oh yeah, but like that's like the right. Everybody's got to have
Yeah.
their book on boletes, and they're definitely in Appalachia. That's kind of their neck of the woods. They really know mushrooms of the East Coast, particularly in Appalachia. Anyway, so
Yeah.
what are you doing with them?
Well, they're in North Carolina in the Highlands, and they have a mushroom camp week. So we go down there, and there's every year 12 people are picked. It's like a sign up. Sign up starts at this time, and whoever gets in first is the first 12, and that's it. And you go for a week, and they teach you everything you could possibly want to know, I'm certain. Not only about boletes, but about microscopy, about just, I can't imagine. I'm like, my brain can't fathom what I'm going to learn. Not only from them, but the other people that are going. A few of them I've already met, and I'm going to learn so much from them. So
Right.
I feel like I can't wait to be like the least knowledgeable one in the room.
So you're going to Mushroom Nerd Camp.
Yeah.
And that's right. But you highlight an important piece, which is, man, my daughter complains about this a lot because she'll be on some team, and she's the worst player, and she's always complaining she's the worst player. And I'm like, that's the best situation you can be in. You don't ever want to be the best player on the team, because then nobody's pushing you. Nobody's motivating you. Nobody's teaching you anything. If you're on top, you like where you're at is good. That's good. You're going to develop quickly in that environment. So yeah, go hang out with, I can't imagine there's anybody at that get together that doesn't already know quite a bit about mushrooms, and you never know. You just never know what you're going to learn from somebody. I just love the organic knowledge attainment, right? Like I could sit down and read a book and pretend like I'm in a class, try to get an A in a class I'm not even taking. But I'm 47. I got 3 kids. For me, it's got to be fun. It's got to be organic. It's got to make sense. If I've never,
I can't learn like that though.
Yeah.
Just in general, like reading a book, I can't retain that information. I just don't process things that way. I have to be hands-on and to talk to somebody and be able to bounce back and forth with them and ask questions and really be able to understand something to really get it to stick.
Well, and so much of it, I think we've talked about this a little bit, but like, I remember Ed Grant told me, oh, well, there's actual like books you can have in the field that have all the color ranges, so that when you're trying to ID something, you can actually use, like, it's almost like you're getting a paint sample, right? And you can try to compare it and all that stuff. Because otherwise, my orange is different than your orange. So you can't just say it's got an orange cap. That could mean 100,000 different things. But once you lay eyes on it, once somebody that knows what they're doing says, this is a chanterelle, this is what they look like, even if you don't know all the fancy terms, all the mycological, Latin names for adnext and adnate and convex and conical, and even if you don't know all that, you can have, like you're saying, experiential knowledge that comes from physically holding the fucking mushroom in your hand and going,
do that.
Yes, that's what reticulation is. Oh, I see it. Okay, cool. Can I write a dissertation about what that means? Maybe not. But now I've seen it. I know what that is. Only happens if you get out there. Got to get out and look for mushrooms. Got to roll those logs over. You got to move some herbaceous ground cover out of the way, or you're never gonna find those mushrooms. It's a
Creek
whole
walk during a drought.
yes. Yes. Oh, speaking of that, I think weather's looking pretty good for MycoFest. It looks like they're going to get some rain the next few days, and then we're going to roll in, and all the rain stops, and mushrooms are just going to be jumping out at us. We're going to have to be dodging them. They're just going to, yeah.
And it's
that's my hope.
like the perfect PA like setting. Hemlocks. And
It looks really cool.
creaky,
Yeah.
and it's so beautiful.
Hemlocky and creaky.
Mhm.
Yes. You gotta love the hemlocks. Throw in some oaks, and we're good.
Oh, yeah.
And we're good. Yes. I have never been to this neck of the woods other than maybe sort of driving my car through it on the highway. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting deeper into Pennsylvania, seeing what it's all about. Rothrock State Park looks like it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm ready.
It reminds me a lot of my area.
Okay.
So
all right.
it's really, it's nice.
Meaning a lot of cool mushrooms?
Well, that too, yeah. But I mean, like hemlocks and mixed woods and
nice.
that kind of vibe.
Yeah, where I'm at, not a lot of hemlocks so much. You gotta go more southern Ohio to get more of that. But I still got a lot of oaks. I tell you what, mushrooms love oak trees.
Yeah, they do.
I find an insane amount of mushroom species, but when I got a decent amount of old oaks, so yeah. I'm happy with the oaks. Hemlock, Kyle Cannon's getting me into the hemlocks a little bit more. We did a little bit of stuff down south in southern Ohio by Hocking Hills, and that was a lot of fun too. So, all right, so we got presenters, we got foray leaders. I'm definitely going to hit the forays at least Friday and Saturday. I don't know. We'll see. The wife might not let me stay late on Sunday, so I don't know when I'm going to have to dip out on Sunday, but definitely going to be there all Friday, all Saturday, and trying to just meet a bunch of people, cool people like Chris Pauly's going to be there. Definitely want to say hi to him again. I met him in Mexico last year. And he's a super cool guy. You know, just cool people. A lot of people I haven't met. I'm looking forward to meeting. So
have you met Bill Russell?
I have not, but yeah, even Will was telling me
best.
Like Bill's just a legend. I cannot wait to.
Seriously is. He's amazing.
Is he gonna come foraging with any of us?
He didn't. He hasn't the last couple. Well. The first year I came was the first year he missed that year, but last year he didn't. I'm not sure. We'll see.
All right. Well,
I would love that.
So, I tell you what, some of them get real like they analyze. It's like John Plishke, right? He like analyzes the rainfall distribution for the region, and then just says it's not enough rain, not gonna be good enough mushrooms. So hopefully we get him out, because yeah, man, if he's a legend, I want to see a legend in his natural habitat. Yeah. I want to see him out in the woods being awesome. That would be fun. Yeah, but I have never been. My new business partner, Don King, he went last year, said it was amazing. Definitely talked me into it. I almost went last year. I could only get so many yeses from my wife for Myco events last year. So I capped out, and I had to make decisions. So
yeah, I'm capping out this year.
Yeah. Oh man, why wasn't I into mushrooms when I was young? I could have done everything whenever I wanted. It would have been amazing. It's okay. I was in a band. I had fun. It's all good. But yeah, definitely gotta make decisions on what to go to, right? Like I had somebody go, I can't go to Mexico, it costs too much. I'm like, bro, I already know you smoke like $80 worth of weed a week. You like, don't tell me you don't have money. You just, your priorities are different. Right. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I cannot overemphasize how cool it is to just get out and hang out with people. It validates, right? Otherwise, I don't know about you, but I'm sitting around going, I'm at a party. And people are like, what's up? How you doing? What you been up to? And I want to tell them 100 things about mushrooms, but I just know how that conversation goes. It just goes like, they leave because they don't care. So
or
yeah,
it goes like blank face. You're like,
yes, exactly. Or they got a good 5 minutes in them that they'll talk to you about mushrooms, and then the minute you just take it to that next level, they're like, nope.
I usually don't. I feel like I've learned my lesson over the years to like keep it very, morale talk.
I try. Oh, morale talk. I like that term.
Especially around my area, it's either morels or what do they call them around here? They call them beefsteak milkies, but they're
okay.
The corrugated milk caps. Lactophis chloricus.
I don't know.
Yeah. We might find them. We found some last year at MycoFest, so.
It's not beefsteak polypore? No.
This is why common names are so weird and random, because I feel like it's a PA thing. I don't often hear it outside of that, but it's just a milk cap.
Oh, okay. So no, it's not a polypore.
No.
All right. Well, you got to find it so you can show it to me so I know what you're talking about.
They're just stinky, fishy milk caps.
Fun. Yeah. Somebody was like, you go to the wrong parties. Yeah. I mean, I have to. I got to go to my regular life parties too. I can't always. Yeah. I got to go to the parties the wife wants to go to with the regular people who aren't obsessed with I mean, they love my microdoses every time, it's like they just one by one come up to me at the parties and, want to know if they can, get another free bag of microdoses, which I'm happy to oblige because I never don't have too much mushrooms for the most part. But then that's it. They don't want to talk about mushrooms. They don't want to talk about cultivation or taxonomy or that's all it is, which is fine. That's fine. Right. That's why you got to go to MycoFest. That's why you got to go hang out with mushroom people. Sorry, I'm reading something here. One of my buddies who was in Mexico was like, I'm still trying to channel the Mexican version of me, but work has other plans. Yeah, that's the other thing. This is important. I've been talking to a few people, and we'll get into this probably a little bit more when I do the official Mexico episode. But right, you go to another country, and culture is way different, and you realize we are just in a fucking hurry in the United States. We're in a hurry. That Protestant work ethic just got us thinking we got to achieve all the time. But you don't. Take some time. Do what you want to do. You can like mushrooms even if they don't make you any money. I mean, I'm a fucking great example of that. I am a great example of that. Mushrooms just keep costing me money. But that's okay. All my hobbies have cost me money. It's no different than mountain biking or photography or any of that other stuff. Should just
people like, what do you do? I'm like, I hustle so I can do anything that has to do with mushrooms.
Yes. All right. So I almost forgot about this, but I just noticed the placard behind you. So you just got a scholarship to go to NAMA this year, right?
Yes. Yes,
all right,
I did.
So what did you have to do to get that? Because now I'm wondering why I paid money to go when I could have gotten the scholarship and competed with you. Did you have to do an essay? What did you do?
So they have a contest every year. It's a chopped style challenge, and they give you ingredients, and you have to cook something, take pictures, write down the recipe, send it in. And they go through them, and whichever one they think looks the best and was the best use of mushrooms or most creative use of mushrooms, they will give you a scholarship to their annual camp.
All right. So you're a culinary wizard with mushrooms, and that you use that to parlay your way into free ticket to NAMA.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like
It was parsnips, cream cheese, miso, potato chips, and I feel like there was something else. And
Well,
mushrooms,
you're
of
gonna have
course,
to
but-
post the recipe now. We're gonna have to share
Right.
the recipe in the description.
Oh,
Now,
for sure. I have copies of the recipe.
parsnips are what's up. I've been liking parsnips for a hot minute. Some people don't even know what the hell those things are, though. So, and you can't
Yeah, I
always
had to
find
go
them
to
at the
two
grocery
grocery
store.
stores. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had to find them for sure.
Yes. Well, that's cool. So, but now here's the deal. So you got the free admission, but
Right.
they're not exactly paying for your plane flight over there, and it's literally the other freaking side of the United States.
Yes. Yeah.
So I saw a thing on Facebook that said you're going to be slinging some of your food at MycoFest in exchange for some money to help you raise some money for your flight out to MycoFest. And I said, well, we can do better than that. I got a whole bunch of people that got $1 or $2 or $5 or whatever. And if anybody wants to contribute a couple bucks to help Appalachian Ash get out to NAMA this year, get to see some new mushrooms, right? She's East Coast. She's going to get to go see some West Coast mushrooms. There's in the description later, I will make sure that her contact information is available. I don't think she's got a GoFundMe or anything like that. It's not exactly a GoFundMe thing. But if you want to toss her a couple bucks, I will make sure you have a way of getting at her and doing that. And I say it matters because if you toss her a couple bucks and she goes and figures some cool stuff out, finds some new mushrooms, comes up with a new recipe, then you can hop in her DMs and be like, I gave you $25. All I want is a recipe. And I'm sure she'll send you a recipe. So anyway, this is how this to me is us at our best. I see a lot in especially the Cube community. It'll be like, oh, I smoked too much meth. I burned my house down. And now I don't have any money for diapers for my kids. I see that shit all day long. But what I don't see is, hey man, I'd love to go to NAMA, but I'm broke. Who wants to help me go to NAMA?
Yeah.
That, right? Let's get behind that. Let's help people out. So I'm all about it. I definitely hope I'm going. These are my two big things I'm doing, MycoFest and NAMA this year. And
I can't believe I'm going to see you out there too. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's going to be crazy.
And then
See you
next year
across the country.
we're going to get you at Ohio Mushroom Festival next year. That's
I
the
want to
goal.
do it next year for sure.
That is the goal. Ohio Mushroom Festival is shaping up, guys. If you don't even know, you got to figure it out sooner than later. If you are anywhere near Ohio or Pennsylvania, get out there. It is a cool mushroom festival. You got to go to the ones by you, right? Like, yes, NAMA's awesome, but you never know where NAMA's going to be. It can be in frickin' Hawaii one year. It can be in goddamn Alaska next year. Do you know what I mean? It can just be all over. It's hard to get to. Yeah. Whereas Ohio Mushroom Festival, it's right here, like Will said, it's by like 40% of the population of the United States, guys. You got no excuses. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get everybody to go to more things because I want to meet everybody. I want to hang out. I want us to grow as a community, let everybody see what's up and see the psychedelic community, cube cultivation community, taxonomical community, super nerdy myco, forager community. We're all part of just this big umbrella of people who, for whatever freaking reason, just dig mushrooms. End of story. That easy. Anyway. All right. So this weekend, we're going to hang out. I'm going to eat some of your food. I'm going to toss you a few bucks for it. I hope you can find me some cool mushrooms on one of these forays. I know my two kids who are coming are going to love looking for mushrooms with a bunch of people. They're going to be like, wait, other people like mushrooms this much? It's going to be.
I love it. I'm great. I'm so happy your kids are coming. I do kids classes around me locally too. I do a lot better with kids than adults. So
I hear you. It's a easier crowd for sure. Yes, I hear you. Cool. Well, thank you for stopping by. Well, afterwards we'll probably have to do a MycoFest episode. We'll see. We'll see how much fun we have. The music is great. I saw Will perform at Ohio Mushroom Festival last year. He killed it. Sounds like
Hilla's gonna be there. Have you seen Hilla?
I have not seen. No.
Oh my gosh.
Good.
The best. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Oh my god.
All right. Getting me excited. All right, guys. We're gonna do it. If you guys don't already got your tickets for MycoFest, go get you some. There's, I don't know, 30 tickets left, something like that. Just make the decision. Come do it. Come hang out. It's gonna be a good time. Appalachian Ash, thank you for being here. I'm gonna have you back on again. Can't wait to hang out this weekend, and hopefully we can get you to NAMA. That's the goal. We got to get that money built up.
I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna get there.
All right, I like it. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Sorry, I'm rusty, man. I haven't done one of these podcasts in like a month. It's been a hot minute. All right. Before we move on. So yes, we went to Mexico. Yes, it was a screaming success. Yes, nobody died. Yes, nobody even got hurt. It was phenomenal. But before I get into that, Stealthy Spores sent me some cool stuff. You guys already know how I feel about Dirty South mycology. One of my favorites, will never not be one of my favorites. And Stealthy decided to do a special hero card for Dirty South. I'm gonna try to do this without getting choked up. There it is. The Eternal. God, what is this? Here we go. The Eternal Hero card. Boy, oh boy. That thing does not want to look at that card, does it? There we go. It's gold. It's shimmery. It's if Dirty South meant something to you, it's a cool card to have. Great way to remember him. And if I'm not mistaken, some amount of the profit of the card goes back to the family. So it's a really, really great cause. Stealthy also gave me one-of-a-kind bling, guys. This is my first one-of-a-kind bling. I feel like Michael Jordan with like some shoes nobody, or like Drake with some shoes nobody's got. I got this really cool Stealthy Spores like deck box, and check it out. The mycelium under the mushrooms. You see how cool that is? Anyway, he said that I'm the only one who's got it for right now. Maybe if people dig it, he'll get a bunch of them made. I'm also hoping to be getting together with him soon. We're going to do some episodes. We got to play in Mexico. It was a lot of fun. Another great community building activity. It gives you a chance to, play a card game. This got to do with mushrooms. It's fun. So hopefully we'll be getting together and maybe creating some content, help people figure out how to play the game. It's not Uno. It's a little more complicated than that. So hopefully we can do that soon. And I think that's all my little things I had to do. Now I had 100,000 people. Maybe not quite that many, but I had a lot of people asking, how is Mexico? How is Mexico? How is Mexico? And I kept wanting to be like, wait a few weeks. I'm trying to put together a killer episode about it. But I figured I got to pull somebody on. So we're going to talk about it. Who we going to talk about it with? Who you guys think? One of my boys. One of the guys, I was so excited when he signed up for this trip. I was like, thank God, this is going to be great. I get to hang out with somebody that I spend a lot of time talking to online, that I spend time on the podcast, on his podcast, get to actually meet him in person and hang out. It was phenomenal. I'm talking about Dichotomous Keys. Let's pull him on. What's up, man?
Hello.
How you doing?
You again?
Yeah, man. I like that shirt. Where'd you get that shirt, boy?
Man, somebody sent it to me in the mail.
Dang, that guy must be real nice. That's a sweet ass shirt, dude.
Lucky like that.
Man, the only thing that outshines that shirt is that 4x4 flow hood that I still cannot. I think this is the MycoGeeky Podcast debut of the DK 4x4 flow hood.
Maybe.
That thing is looking insanely big. My God.
The next one.
That is a nice one. So, for those who don't know, DK came to Mexico with us. He came, he saw, he conquered, and I don't know if you guys realize this. This guy is like a legit photographer. He came with a rig. He was ready to go. Nobody had to teach him what any of the buttons did. He was locked and loaded and took some absolutely unreal photographs. He's already posted some of them on his Facebook. If you guys haven't checked him out, go check out his Facebook page. Go look at some of the recent posts. Bro, killed it. Some of those are just unreal. I'm really impressed.
I gotta post more. I gotta clean them up more. I don't even have Photoshop anymore. It's all just straight out of the camera.
Well, straight out of the camera is looking pretty good. When that camera, man, I mean, I don't even know what it was, but it was big and heavy, and that glass looked real big and heavy, and then he got like a special light ring on it. He had all the bells and whistles. It was some pro shit for sure.
I like it. It's been a while, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, and we twisted his arm. We had more people than we had drivers. So DK, in the clutch situation, delivered for us. He drove the last car all around Mexico. Yeah, man. Let's talk about it. So, from what you thought the trip was going to be to what it was, how close? How close?
It was honestly pretty close. I mean, it was pretty much hit all the highlights, and there was extra stuff I didn't expect. So I guess it was more than I expected in general. I was just hoping to find some mushrooms, and I found plenty of those. And then there was the coffee plantation and the museum and a lot of other stuff to do too. So I'm sure it was not a whole lot of fun for y'all to try to manage all that, going every different direction every day. But it was nice to have choices. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Good, man. Yeah, I mean, so we just wanted to do. I figured like this: if you're utterly obsessed with mushrooms, and all you want to do sun up to sundown is mushrooms, you probably just go to Mexico by yourself. But if you want to go with a group, then we wanted to give people like if you've never been to Mexico, particularly this part of Mexico, we want to give context. We wanted you to see what the area had to offer beyond just finding a Neo-Halepensis in situ do you know what I mean? Like under a little cliff, right? We wanted you to go to the archaeological museum. We wanted the full shebang.
Yeah.
Go to Park Juarez. Go to all the stuff. Eat the Mexican ice cream. Eat eat good food. We want to do all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm glad that it worked out. But boy, we did find. God dang, we found almost all of them, dude. I mean, of the actives that grow there.
Yeah.
We found pretty much everything we could want.
Yeah, we found things I'd never even heard of. So
yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. And
you should grow too. So.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, there's really, there's two worlds when it comes to active mushrooms down there. There's the roam around a cow pasture, and you can find a lot of actives that way. You can particularly find a lot of easy to grow actives that way, or relatively easy to grow.
Right.
That's bread and butter. That's you can almost without exception roll up to any cow pasture that looks like it's been there a hot minute, that's on some sort of a rolling hill. You're probably going to find cubes. You're probably going to find pans. Maybe if you keep your eye out, you'll find a couple Mexicana nearby. But we pretty much found everything you could find in a cow pasture. And then separate from that, you got the rare, the exceptional, the hard to find, the ones nobody really has grown yet at all, but everybody wants prints of because they want to be the guy who figures out how to grow them. And we want you to be that guy. I mean, I want you to be that guy. I want to figure out how to grow Neohalopensis. That would be amazing. That would be good for Neohalopensis. It's a red listed mushroom. Be great for Hymii. It'd be great for all these. So just so you guys watching know, there's kind of two realms down there within the active species. There's the very difficult to find, usually very difficult to even get to where they would be mushrooms, and then there are just the roam around the cow pasture mushrooms. We did a little bit of both of that.
All of them,
yeah.
Found all of them. Yeah, found stuff I didn't expect to find.
All right, what did you not expect to find?
I don't even know if I'd ever heard of a Fagicola before.
Oh yeah, Fagicula, yeah.
Fagicola.
I say it like the Mexicans do. They say Fagicula. So that just sounds cooler than Fagicola. So Fagicola sounds like a shitty soft drink from the 80s that like
he wrote it on the swab set or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's those. What else? I had hoped for, but I didn't think we would find it. Which I didn't find any other. I guess y'all found some of those the day before, but Carolescence.
Yeah, we found a few of those. Yep. Yeah, what's crazy now is I got back home and everybody in Atlanta, Georgia, I guess they're just tripping over them down there.
Really?
So I guess we gotta go to Atlanta, Georgia sometime and get it, and big ones, big sexy ones. Now we found some massive ones for sure.
They were big old zaps too.
Big old zaps. Oh yeah. I got some photos to go through, and I think I got a couple photos of you, one of you, and then one of you and Paul with some big old zaps for sure.
No, my butt stuck in the air.
I think I only got one photo with your drawers sticking out, so it's all good. And that one didn't make the cut. So yeah. By the way, guys, if you don't know, Dichotomous Keys is tall as a motherfucker. This guy, I mean, I'm like 6 foot tall. He makes me feel short as hell. This is a big dude. Do not fuck with Dichotomous Keys. I swear to God, those mushrooms do what they do for you just because they look at you and go, oh, fuck, we better cross. We don't cross. This guy is going to give us some shit. That's funny. Yeah, man, it was great to hang out with you. It was great to show you and everybody else, you know, what we love about that place. The vibe is so cool.
It was nice meeting people in real life, and doing it, hanging out. All the guys were pretty nice guys. Everybody was. It was a fun time. I'll do it again. I had a good time.
Yeah,
got a lot of spores, so plenty of things to play with till next year. Yeah,
dude. We had a couple things that we found. We So I'll tell the story. When the first zaps I found, I walked right by them because I was somewhere where never in my wildest dreams did I think I was going to find zaps. I'm not gonna say where, but I walked by and I just said to Happy, there's some mushrooms, and like I just kind of brushed it off, and he's like right behind me, and he goes, and as soon as he goes, just the way he said, I turn around and I go, zaps? It's like instantly knew I shouldn't have walked by those mushrooms. And yeah, you just never know where you're gonna find those suckers. I think zaps are like the ovoids of jalapa. I think there are way more than people even find. They're just you gotta really look for those suckers for sure. Yes.
Yeah, knowing how to identify stuff was the trick for me. But like the first day, there's no telling how many things I walked by in a cow pasture, thinking, it's a brown. I don't know what the hell it is. But by the second or third day or whatever, I could pretty well tell what I know either Mexicana or subtrops or some sort of pan. I was surprised the damn cubes fought me. I didn't find any of them till like the last day almost, or second to last. I don't know anyway. But,
the cubes. I mean, that's the irony. See,
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a timing thing. I don't know if that was a rainfall thing. But yeah, that one field we went to, dear God, we found frickin' everything you could possibly imagine finding except cubes.
That's huge.
You
Yeah.
were like, what's up with this? Why are there no cubes here? But hey, we found a lot of stuff subtropicalis, definitely not an easy one to find. We found those.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of pans and a whole bunch of zaps.
Yeah. A lot of Mexicana.
Yeah. A lot of Mexicana, yes.
All kind of pans, which I still have trouble identifying those, knowing which ones are which. I just save spores off the ones that turn blue.
Well, if they're, some are real big, and then those are the Antillarum that they're a little shinier. But yeah, just the more you see, and the more you have guides or some of us who do a pretty good job of IDing them, that definitely helps. It's like I was just saying with Appalachian Ash. You can read 100 books. You can look at 70 photos. You can look at, 100 photos of Alan Rockefeller's perfect, amazing, breathtaking photos. But they don't exactly always look like that when you're walking by a pile of shit in a cow field.
Right.
And you got to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, it takes time to figure all that out. They get a little dried out looking, or if they're wet.
Yeah, especially if they're dried out is what gives me a hard time. Stealthy says, but the cubes you found were huge. I never saw the cubes you found. Did you find some big ones?
They were pretty big. I don't remember. I think it was the day me and Happy were out. But I found one that probably had a 4 or 5 inch cap, something like that.
Oh, no way. Yeah, that's huge, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
Something that I got prints and swabs. And
awesome.
Plenty of spores to play with.
Well, I already have isolated some K-Relescence monos. I'm going to start farting around with trying to grow those in some wood chips. Yeah. All right. My buddy Kaz just said, for those of you on the fence about going on the next trip, I can't recommend it more highly. Such amazingly cool people and activities. You won't be disappointed. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. He is a little biased. He's been my friend for a while, though I do truly believe he's saying that objectively. He went on a hike Wednesday that was a very advanced hike. I took a group somewhere else because the hike was brutal. We actually had somebody who had to leave early, partially because of how brutal that hike was, or at least a slight bit because of it. So while we were doing that, they were doing this really advanced hike, and I asked Kaz how it was when I saw him later that evening, and he goes, life-changing. He's like, that was just fucking unbelievable. That was one of my favorite comments to get. I had many amazing comments I got from people. That was definitely one of my favorites, just because I felt the same way. Something about being down there, connecting with the culture, the pace, the beauty, the fucking beauty of that place cannot be overstated. And then just to have it all come together with the actives, right? Like it's like your hobby integrated with a cool place. That's what I really love about that place for sure.
Yeah.
So you got to hang out with Happy quite a bit. He wasn't your roommate though, was he? Or was he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was your roommate. Cool. Nice.
Yeah,
so you guys got to hang out a lot. Yeah, you guys are like, right, cultivators. There was a lot of cultivators on the trip, which was cool. Not everybody. There were some people that came into the mix by way of Don King, and they showed up and they were like, what are actives? And we're like, oh, get ready, because we're gonna find a whole bunch of them. But they had a good time though. They had a good time.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, so what are you up to? You got a bunch of I imagine you got zaps, you got cubes. So are you gonna try to like just start growing the hell out of all these things? I gotta imagine you're gonna cross them with 80 things by next week.
Yeah, I want to grow the Mexicanas for sure, and subtrops, cubes, pans, and Yeah, I got a lot of. I got, of course, behind while I was on the trip, and then I've had, I don't know, gout or something going on in my foot while I've been back. So I hadn't been doing a whole lot this last week. So I got a lot of catching up to do. I hadn't gotten anything done yet as far as starting new stuff.
Man,
But
you
yeah,
didn't get some colchicine prescription when you were down in Mexico?
no colchicine. I don't even
Get
know
some
that
of
that's
that.
what it is. Something going on
Oh.
in my foot. But I've never had gout before, so that's just a wild ass guess. It could be.
It's
anything.
usually the big toe. It's the great toe, and it just looks like someone hit it with a hammer. If it's not exactly in the toe, then there's a good chance it's not gout. But
Yeah,
sorry,
it's in that big toe, in the main joint where it attaches to the foot there.
yeah,
The
man, we
main-
just wore you out, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
mold.
we did. I'm gonna say this, by the way. There were a lot of older people on the trip, older than me, and everybody did great, man. People,
Oh, that's good.
I mean, we climbed to the top of a freaking volcano.
Yeah, it's strenuous climb.
Steep climb. Everybody handled it great. It was cool. It's great to see people get excited, wanting to see, beautiful vistas and find rare mushrooms and see what people were willing to do it. It was cool.
It was pretty up there.
All right, so speaking of that, let's walk through. I got a bunch of photos. So before we go here, I figure maybe we walk through a few photos here. All right, so you were not here for this, but when we got in on Friday with a few people, and as we're driving up to Jalapa, we stopped at La Antigua and had some food, and happened upon gotta be one of the biggest ficus trees I've seen in my life. I mean, I've not been to India or Malaysia or some of those places, but this guy was huge.
Yeah, it's big.
Massive ficus. And then this is everybody sitting down, eating, wearing their cool MycoTreks shirts. Gotta love it.
Oh yeah.
This was Monday. We went on a tour of a coffee plantation, and this was the guy, very passionate about coffee. This guy's passion for coffee was right up there with like Dave Wombat's passion for breeding mushrooms, or Dichotomous Keys' passion for breeding mushrooms. This guy loved coffee.
Yeah.
There's some more at the plantation. Don King talking to one of our guides about something. Oh, that slide looks weird. I don't know why it looks like that. This was us, I think, at a market, eating at like one of the little markets in town.
Yeah.
And then this was us on our first official foray. Real simple foray by Nicole. But we found a lot of, I mean, not actives, but we found a lot of mushrooms on that hike.
Yeah, there was all kinds of stuff on it.
Yeah, some really pretty. My favorite, I found a Cortinarius violaceus on that hike. Took a cool photo of it. Our photographer took just a stunning photo of that one. I think you took some pretty badass photos of that one too.
They were okay. My flash had died at that point on that day, so I was trying to shoot everything through a fisheye lens.
And then this was that really cool pasture foray that we did, and just found everything. So this is you can see Happy. He's on the hunt. He's trying to find everyone he can find. I just grabbed a quick little clip there. And then this was after that foray, we were heading home, and that weekend it was the Feast of San Jeronimo, and that was down in Jico. But this little town we were in south of there was throwing a little festival, so we stopped and grabbed a couple photos. It was kind of cool. Definitely National Geographic moment. This was on one of the many night hikes. Did you take this one, or is this? I think this might be one of Marcus's.
With me when we saw one, we saw it. I don't know if it was the same kind of spider, similar, large spider that glowed very brightly while we were out night hiking, but I didn't get a picture of it.
Yeah, we didn't. We had a couple Russulas. We had maybe an Entaloma that phosphoresce or whatever at night, but mostly it was just cool spiders. Cool bugs, flies, beetles, stuff like that.
Different mushrooms and stuff, but I don't know which ones were what. Mostly little tiny ones. Yeah, a few bigger ones.
All right, this is If you guys look here, one of the guests was pointing directly at a Neohalopensis there. As you can tell, these suckers, man, Neohalopensis, you can stand right in front of the thing, see it, turn away to grab a piece of camera gear, and when you look back, you lost it. You got to find it all over again.
Yeah.
They are really hard to see, hard to spot.
Yeah, they're dark.
Oh, yeah. And then this was one of the really steep hikes that everybody went on. This is the Anthropological Museum. I think it's affiliated with the University of Veracruz. And these are some of these Olmec heads. There's apparently, so Olmecs, that's the oldest of the native people from that region. And they've recovered so far 17 of these large Olmec heads. And this museum had 7 of the 17. So those are pretty cool. Just some random little puppy dogs. I think you were on this when we snuck off. We were looking for cubes, but then we snuck off to go look for some youngensis somewhere. And I just took a picture of these little dogs. They were cute. Yep. So here's, I think this was on one of the forays. We were a smaller group of people. We were looking for mostly Neohalopensis, Fagicula, Hymeae, stuff like that. And then if you guys notice, do you guys notice way up in the top there, almost dead center, this DK just off,
lurking,
doing his own thing over there.
They're lurking.
Yeah. All right. So some people went horseback riding one day, so I grabbed a couple shots of that. And then on, I think this was Thursday, we went and did a high altitude hike. We're at about not quite 10,000 feet. And we took this road and it was so remote, and we never in a million years, when we crested this little hill, did we expect there was going to be a whole town up there, but there's this whole little town up there. And we had a good time. They mostly farm potatoes and hunt for like amanita and boletes. And this is just one of the dudes who stopped long enough for me to take a photo. All right, and then this was after that forage. The townspeople put on a little lunch for us. We got to eat lunch with, what was it, eight or 9 different dishes with amanita, with boletes, all sorts of stuff. It was tasty. I wasn't complaining. All right, here's some more shots from that hike. This was I didn't do the. Did you do the sweat lodge, DK?
No, I'm not. I'm from the south. I get enough sweat.
Yeah, exactly. But this was they're prepping the sweat lodge. I just grabbed a shot of that. All right, here's one of you, Don King and Paul. I think we were trying to take photos of some zaps. If you guys look over DK's left shoulder, he's the one in the yellow shirt. You can just barely make out a nice cluster of zaps there.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are. Yep. Gorgeous, fresh, young. A lot of times you find these zaps and they're Durumbe mushrooms, so they're often fruiting in places where there are mudslides, landslides, and these were just pristine, gorgeous zaps. And then here's another one of DK taking a shot, and I was down in this ditch and got a shot of the zaps as he's taking another photo. Here's Natural State and Happy. Natural State's holding a big old K rulescens, and Happy's holding some zaps. Here's you looking real serious, DK. We were up doing a little microscopy. We wanted to check out the spores on some of the pans we found and kind of make sure we were IDing stuff correctly. So we did a little bit of microscopy at night. Here is, I just grabbed a shot of Happy. So this embankment here supposed to be a good spot for Neohalopensis. So we were just trying to find a needle in a haystack, man. These mushrooms are like the size of a little, so tiny.
And they just blend in.
Yeah. Oh, there's another, I don't know why some of these photos look weird. This was this was a nice little cabin up by one of the cow pasture hikes. This was the group before we did the volcano. There's an extinct volcano called Volcancillo that we hiked to the top of, and this was the guy over our guide Aaron's shoulder, giving everybody the lowdown in history. Here's everybody hiking up.
Yeah, steep climb.
Oh yeah, bro, that was legitimately steep climb. Yes. Here's our photographer right on the rim of the crater, just getting some super daring shots. He gave a couple people on the trip a heart attack watching him try to take these photos. And then he climbed down to this cave and hung out down there for a while. So I grabbed a shot of him doing that. Here's the group after the Volcancillo hike. Here's me with all but one of the guides. One of the guides was still at the hotel. I was dropping the other guys off. So in the middle there, that's Aaron and Gabrielle and Victor from middle to right. Awesome guys. Just super fun. They love mushrooms. They're just like us. They love mushrooms. They live in like a mushroom mecca. They're so lucky. And it's really cool that they share their enthusiasm with all of us down there and showed us some cool spots. It was cool. And then here's one of the last nights. We took a shot after one of the presentations. Yeah, man, we did it.
It was a good time.
I had a blast. Man, I'm telling you what, the first time I went, it's like I just had jalapa on the brain. I could not be thinking about being there, about how chill the vibe was, how relaxed it was. The food is amazing. The area kind of reminds me of Southern California, so I don't know if I was like transferring a little bit of my, longing and missing living in Southern California for it or what, but I tell you what, every time I've gone a few times now in the last year, and every time I just love that place more and more. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely. Everybody's friendly. Yeah, a lot of nice little towns and some rough roads. But
oh yeah, oh man. So next year, the next trip, prices gonna have to go up because we gotta rent some big boy toys. We cannot. We were rolling in some little wannabe SUVs and we tore them suckers up. So we definitely we're gonna have to pay the extra money and rent some real SUVs because man, yeah. I remember that one hike we did that one day to get there. Holy Lord Jesus. There was a couple spots I was like 50-50 we're gonna make it through this.
Yeah.
And we did. I just want to do a quick Kaz just donated $50 for Ash to have a great time at MycoFest. I got you, Ash. I will hook you up with that $50. Yeah, man, it was fun. Happy's in my DMs like, bro, I'm going next year. I cannot wait to go back. It's so much fun. He'd never been out of the country before. And he definitely was a little bit nervous, in the beginning. By the end, so in the beginning, dude, I'm going to out him a little bit. I think at the first place we ate, he ordered like something kind of American, like fish and chips or something like that. And I kind of teased him and gave him a hard time about it. Man, by the end, he was eating every little Mexican dish he could get his hands on. He was like fully integrated. He was definitely loving it.
Yeah. Got forced out of his comfort zone a little bit on the food.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he enjoyed
Well, just you don't know, right? Like if you've never, I know, because you used to do scuba tours and all this. You've been all over the place, and you've been enough islands where you're like, okay, I've been to enough islands. I know what islands are like now. So then, if you go to another island, it doesn't really freak you out. You're like, yeah, I've been to an island before. I've been to Pacific Islands. I've been to Caribbean islands. I get it. But if you've never been out of the country, you just don't know.
No, you don't.
What is it like? And one of the days we were driving, who was I with? Oh, well, one time it was Happy, but another time it was, I don't know if it was Myco Dandy or who it was, but somebody was like, boy, you know, all my friends, when they heard I was going to Mexico, they were just like, are you sure? Aren't you scared? Aren't you worried? Give us your information. You should register with the consulate, all this kind of stuff. And they were like, yeah, man, I don't, you know, I feel safer here than.
Nobody cares, dude. I mean, I'm sure you could get yourself in trouble if you just tried to. But
Sure.
minding your own business and having a good time, and I don't know. I've been all over the world. I've never had anybody mess with. Most people just look at you like, "Who the hell?" Like they don't like you're an alien or something. They, you know, it's like, "Where did this guy come from?" They don't. As long as you're not messing with them, they don't.
Yes.
They're not causing trouble for you.
I mean, man, if you read most of them stories about stuff going wrong and you read between the lines, you're like, oh, those guys got really drunk. They were trying to buy hookers. Then they were trying to buy blow. Then they're trying to do this. Then they're trying to do that. And then this happened and that. Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Not some just mushroom nerds looking for mushrooms is pretty low key.
No, we weren't. I mean, the town we were in were just little quiet towns. There wouldn't be anybody there to. Sure, every town's got its tough guys, but I mean, that never even crossed my mind to be concerned about anybody bothering us or messing with us or.
No.
You know, they
I mean, people are nice.
Yeah.
Everybody's pretty freaking nice there, man. Like, yeah. And sure, you get some looks, especially if you're in a group of like a bunch of white people. I mean, every once in a while you'll see a white person there, but for the most part, you don't. So sure, we got some looks. Couple of the places we ate at, people would be like, "Holy shit, what are all these white people doing here?"
Right.
Yeah, but
that
was good. Exactly. Yeah, man. Well, dude, it was a blast. Definitely appreciate you driving. It was great to both get to hang with you and to see you connect with some of the other people on the trip. I just love doing that. I love sitting back. Of course, the whole time I got 100 things to worry about, unfortunately. But it was really cool just to watch the group of people cohese and come together and myceliate and connect. And yeah, that was a rewarding aspect of the trip for sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of different types of people there, but I think everybody got along well, and I mean, everybody seemed to have a good time. I think everybody was enjoying themselves. I know I was.
Bro, yeah. I was ready. I was definitely ready for having to do some more like smoothing over some politics, or somebody wasn't going to get along with somebody else. But yeah, it never happened. Everybody. Right, we had a focus. We were too busy having a good time, looking for mushrooms, all that good stuff. So yeah, it worked out.
Yep,
yeah, man. I'm still like barely recovered though. I got some housework that I have not got to. My yard needs to be mowed. I haven't gotten to that yet.
Lots of work to do. Mushrooms to grow and.
Oh God, yeah. I gotta. I'm chilling for a hot minute on cubes, but I'm trying to get all these beds going because I just keep watching Happy kill it with all these outdoors.
He got me a little more excited about some of the exotics and stuff. I want to try some of them a little more.
Yeah, and your weather's all right. You probably maybe got to water your beds a little bit more, but I think you could definitely do some outdoor grows up there.
Yeah, the dryness would be the trick here. Had to build them a little greenhouse or something.
Yep. Yeah, Jack Cyan style, man. That his greenhouse photos doesn't look like it's a problem at all. Very, very minimal work if you got a little greenhouse. And you can go to Temu these days and buy, a 15 by 10 greenhouse for like $200. Comes on a shipping pallet, and if it lasts 2 years, great. It only cost you $200. Who cares? Yeah, man. Well, when we do the bigger episode, Maybe I can get some of your photos together and we can showcase some of those photos.
Off my ass and put more of them on Facebook. But yeah, definitely. Whatever you want. Just let me know.
That'd be good. Yeah, dude. I knew you got back and you had to like full speed like segue back into all your grows and crosses.
Yeah, recovery time and stuff, trying to get funky and a lot of catching up to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I'm
man.
almost caught up now. Getting there.
All right, dude. You're doing it. Yeah, that's the hardest part about this, I think, is I've done this a few times now, like getting ready for events and like trying to scale down and time things. And I still had 3 bags of Cambos just flush hard and perfect. And I came home and they were just soup.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily I had somebody here in town. I dropped off like 12 bags with the babysit, so he took care of most of it for me.
That's right. Yeah, mushroom babysitters. So for all of you out there that are looking for your way to make your myco money, there you go. Mushroom babysitters. That's what we need a website for.
Yeah, there's a market for that.
Yep. All right, who we got? Matt just said, first time catching the live show. Really love this community and all the knowledge being shared. Sounds like I'll be seeing a few of you at the NAMA foray. Looking forward to it. Yeah, dude, come say hi. I'm almost certain Myco Mama's definitely coming. They're rolling in their RV. I might be sleeping underneath one of their wheel wells. But I think they're bringing a crew of people. So there's going to be some feisty cube type people there. And it'll be the first time being around some of these hard, right? We think we love mushrooms. There are some people that have been doing this 2-3 decades and they're hardcore. The amount of knowledge, they're like doctors of mushrooms without even getting their degree, right? Like I think I've said this before. You'll walk into a room and it's a room full of Alan Rockefellers. There are just a lot of beasts in there. So yeah, man, that will be fun, Matt. Look forward to meeting you, and hopefully you can connect with some of the other people that watch your show there and just meet some fun people, learn something about mushrooms. Yeah, next year we're really hoping. So one thing that happened, I think DK knew a little bit about this. I underappreciated how much work it was going to be running this tour well. And so it's a full-time job. So like I didn't get 1 million hours of content. I did not take every photo that I wanted to take. I took some cool photos. But yeah, I think next trip we're going to have somebody dedicated just to doing, recording videos of what we're all doing and that kind of stuff. Cause I only had so much time in the day, man. It was a lot. Yeah. Anyway, well, it's 10:30, and I know usually an hour and a half is unheard of for me to end a podcast, but I'm tired, man. I
from the trip, I'm wore out.
Yes.
In a good way, but yeah, it whooped my ass. It was fun.
Yeah, it's one of those it's a good ass whipping, right? Yeah. There are people that are into that. Yeah, it's like that kind of thing.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Mama Cass said, you did an awesome job. Thank you. You were awesome. She was working off an injury at one point, and she was still climbing to the top of volcanoes and riding horses and doing all that stuff. I really just can't say how impressed enough I was with everybody just fully participating in the trip. It was it was the synergy of having people go, fuck yes, I like to go on vacation, and fuck yes, I love mushrooms. And seeing those two things come together was definitely cool. Definitely worth it at the end. And then Myco Dandy just said, it was so well organized and you all rolled with the punches. Yes, there were a couple punches. It's like in the movies. You do all the planning, and then the thing you didn't think about is the thing that happens.
It's part of the adventure, though. If everything goes smooth, you don't have any memories. If everything, you need a few adventures sprinkled in and out there to.
There you go.
Solidify it all in your brain for eternity.
Yeah, we the one I didn't anticipate was the one you called right off the bat, which was so DK gets in, I meet him at the airport to go take him to go rent his car, and he sorry, I'm just reading something here. He goes, I gotta stop looking at the comments. Too many funny comments. So we're like getting the car for him, and we finally got a moment just to talk to each other. And he says something like, so how's it going? Did everybody make their flight? And I go, nope. We got like 3 people who are not getting in until tomorrow. So yeah, that hurricane that came through Houston definitely caused a little wrinkle. We had to do a little more shuttling in the beginning, but by Monday we got everybody together. We were finally a cohesive group. It was good.
Yeah, that's all it went well. I mean, that's part of the deal. Always some little hiccups, but like I said, that's just part of the adventure, part of traveling.
Yeah, apparently there was we'll talk about this in the next episode. Hold on. All right, man. Well, I saw you. It didn't take you hardly 2 seconds. You did do a good job. You pretty quickly got some of your photos up, got everybody salivating over all the cool shit that you saw and took photographs of. You already are back on the grind with some of them crosses. So I know you're putting in the work.
Yeah. Just gotta get caught up, and I got hundreds of pictures to show. Just hadn't shown them yet. I gotta get off my ass and spend more time on the computer. I've been trying to catch up with everything else, but I'll get there. I definitely have plenty more of my pictures.
Man, these days, right? It's the more you get into it, the more you figure out, the less you figure out, because you go, oh well, I figured out this, but now I got to figure out these 5 other things. Oh, I got a cool camera, but now how do you use Lightroom? And we don't have any excuses anymore because all the information's out there, right? It's all on YouTube or online or something like that. So you just got to put the time in. Yep. Oh, yeah. Mama Castle's like the masseuse. Yes, I might have had. So in the beginning, I obligated myself to a massage. I wanted to just get a read on the spa services at the hotel, so I knew whether to sell them to everybody on the trip or not. And so Happy and we rolled in super late on Friday night because we stayed longer in La Antigua, and the hotel manager comes up and is like, you guys are booked for a massage right now. Our masseuses are just sitting there twiddling their thumbs. So we're like running there to get the massage. Cappy'd never had a massage in his life. I'd had a few in LA when I worked construction. He used to get an adjustment and a massage like every other week. So I'd had him before. I'm gonna go ahead and just say it was probably one of the top 3 massages of my life. Those people down there, this old lady and her daughter were just like fucking shaman level masseuses. I don't know what they did. They did everything right. And so quite a few massages were had on this trip, and nobody was complaining, I don't think. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just reading all these here. All right. Oh yeah, Michael Mamas. Yes, that's the plan. So Michael Mamas was asking if Ash is going to be at NAMA, and yes, she got her ticket paid for through a contest, and now we're trying to help her raise a couple bucks so she can pay for her plane flight out there. So she's going to be at MycoFest this weekend trying to do some fundraising there, and we'll get her a few bucks. We'll get her there for sure. So, all right, dude. Well, I'm definitely excited to see how you integrate some of these genetics into your crosses. I got a sneaking suspicion you're going to be going down a whole nother rabbit hole with Pan-Cyans and Mexicana and all that stuff, and I'm definitely excited to see what you start doing with those.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll find all kind of trouble to get into with them. No doubt.
You're like, yes, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to buy another house and put even
Yeah.
more mushrooms in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I know it was short notice, and I know everybody's mostly been like trying to reintegrate back into real life after that trip. So I definitely appreciate you taking the time. And hopefully in a couple weeks, once we get the whole crew assembled, we can do another one of these and really chit chat and shoot the shit and try to give people a good sense of all the cool stuff we did there.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I'll try to get some photos for you.
Cool,
Put
man.
together. All right.
Yeah, man. And for those of you, I mean, I think most everybody already knows this. If you don't know, DK's got a killer YouTube channel. He has been doing some great content. He explains more about his work, his breeding process, how he isolates monos, how he evolves certain techs to work for him. If you guys are interested in any of that, just definitely go check out his YouTube channel. All right, Kit, go for it. You want to ask a question before we get out of here? Go for it. Ask away. All right. Baron says, you've been watching you, DK. Yeah, Baron. Dude, one of these days we're going to get Baron on. He's fun. He's awesome.
Yeah,
I just haven't been able to convince him to come on the show just yet. All right, Kit, you had your chance. I don't know where you at. Ask your question.
Oh,
Will do. Thanks.
I don't know.
Oh, never mind. Okay. All right. No questions. All right. False alarm. All right, guys. Once again, Dichotomous Keys. We got him down to Mexico. He found a bunch of mushrooms. He's going to start working some of those. Definitely be looking for, he's going to throw a little salsa on the mix now. We're going to get some of them genetics worked in here. We're going to get some of them Coatepex, some Monte Grande, some fun new genetics working into all his crosses. So looking forward to seeing that, dude.
Yeah, get some fresh blood.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
like
I'm
it.
looking forward to it.
Cool, man. All right, dude. Talk to you later.
All right. You have a good evening.
See ya.
See y'all later, guys.
All right. All right, guys. Back in the saddle. Going to MycoFest this weekend. Come hang out, man. We're going to wander around the woods. We're going to find mushrooms. We're going to learn about mushrooms. We're going to talk about mushrooms. We're going to eat some mushrooms. We're going to listen to people rap and sing about mushrooms. It's going to be a whole vibe. It's going to be a good time. William Padilla-Brown's been doing this for 10 years straight. It's definitely one of the big mushroom festivals in the country. If you got nothing going on, come on out. Should be a good time. Anyway, next week might or might not have a podcast. We'll see. Depends upon how much fun I have in MycoFest. Not gonna lie. But stay tuned. In the coming weeks, we will have hopefully a big episode with a bunch of people who went to Mexico. We'll really get into exactly what we did, exactly where we went. Really try to tell the story so you guys get a taste of what we're up to down there. And yeah, until next week, what do I want you guys to do? You guys already know. Go grow some mushrooms.